Hey guys, how's it going? Miller here. Thought I'd give you guys a quick update on what's been going on lately. Currently, I've been painting up some of my UCM ships for my Drop Zone Commander. Sorry, Drop Fleet Commander. For those of you who don't know, Drop Fleet Commander is the sister game of Drop Zone Commander, which is a platoon sort of based game or army based game where you take over a city and you have different drop teams. So you have a drop ship that will come in and drop off a squad of units, whether it be infantry or vehicles or air support or something like that. And your objective is to take over the city and capture key objectives, whether it be information, assets or strategic buildings. And Drop Zone Commander, or that's Drop Zone Commander. Drop Fleet is the space version of it. So it's an orbital based game where your fleet arrives in the atmosphere of the planet and you've got to get your ships over key cities and drop in the troops. So the idea of it is that you will have a fleet battle going on on one table, and you can maneuver your ships in and drop an army into a city, and then from there you can then play the Drop Zone Commander game and fight out that combat. So you can have two simultaneous games going on together, and it's quite cool. You know, the fleets and the armies that you can get are pretty interesting. This one's a UCM fleet, so these are the Kickstarter ships that came out on the release of Drop Fleet Commander. That was on Kickstarter a few years back, and I think it was quite successful. I think they wanted a pledge of about £100,000, and I think they managed to get about 600,000, which, as far as Kickstarter goes, quite a success. But I know they had a lot of problems with getting or fulfilling those pledges at first. I know the company Hawk Games ended up getting into a lot of problems and ended up getting bought out by TT Combat, which I think is a part of Troll Trader. And yeah, they had a lot of trouble getting a lot of the Kickstarter fulfillments out, but they managed it in the end. I managed to pick these up online, which I got them fairly cheap, along with another one of this one here. So this one here is the Avalon, and this one here is the Atlantis. Since releasing both of these, they've brought out new versions of these same sorts of ships, all in resin, which I think is called the Perth and the Johannesburg, or Johannesburg. The UCM ships all have city names, cities around Earth's names. The whole point of the game is that Earth's been taken over by an alien race known as the Scourge, and they've been pushed out and have run away. And about 150 years, they've all come back to reclaim Earth and its other colonies. And there's two other races, or three other races actually. One being the Resistance, which is like a humans that have been left behind, and the other one that is a subhuman or a superhuman known as the PHR, which is a Post-Human Republic, and they're sort of cyborg fleet or army that have come back and split away from the human race 150 years earlier and come back more advanced than any of the humans could hope to be. But they're limited in their numbers. I think there's only a couple of billion of them, as opposed to an entire race. So they're smaller numbers, but a better tech, and they focus more on walkers rather than tanks and ships. But I've also got a UCM fleet that not UCM. I've also got a PHR fleet that I've started to do as well, which I've got a Kickstarter ship for. But back to these. So the Atlantis and the Avalon are both heavy battle cruisers. The Avalon here has a giant burn-through laser on the front here, which is essentially a long laser that will fire its beam at a ship, bypassing its shields and just causing hectic damage, really. And then the Avalon, or the Atlantis, sorry, has just got a lot of guns and brings a lot of guns to bear against the enemy. So they're both really powerful ships to bring to the table, and you're never likely to take both unless it's a really high point game. But but I've done one other ship recently as well, and this one actually I can put forward for my Wargamers Anonymous for this month, as it's just a normal core unit, and was the event exclusive for TT Combat, which is known as the Athens, which is it's just a light cruiser, and is also supposedly meant to use the same rule sets as the Osaka class light cruiser. Bear with me, which is missing right now. Can't find it. I had it a minute ago. Oh, there we go. So this is the same version of the same ship, just different designs. Both follow the same rule sets, have the same unit points, but it's a light cruiser, gets in, does a little bit of damage, can be used for escorts and things like that. But really fun to paint up, and quite a cool little game to play. I've been trying to learn the rules. There's not a lot on YouTube about the game. There's a few people that play it, but I think it was more around when the hype of the game came out. So I want to try and see if I can get a couple of games in and see if I can get some more stuff on YouTube, because it is a pretty cool game. And again, see whether or not I can tie in some of the games with both the Drop Fleet and Drop Zone together. I can quickly show you the what the PHR ships look like. So this again is the Kickstarter exclusive one for the PHR. I've not painted it. It's only primed, but it's built, and I'm looking forward to get on with it. This ship actually is one of the main reasons I wanted to get back into it, because I wanted to get hold of this ship, and they're quite hard to get hold of. They seem to go for quite a bit of money online because they're so hard to get hold of. This one's known as a Leonidas class ship. The PHR focus their names more on Greek mythology, so you've got things like the Leonidas, the Agamemnon, the Priam, the Perseus, and things like that. All sort of Greek heroes. But again, they've got some really cool ships. So whereas with the UCM, they focus more on being able to shoot in all different directions. So they've got different mass drive cannons that point in different directions. The PHR, they're more broadsides. So they're more your ship of the lines. So they've, I don't know if you can kind of see it because of the lighting in here, but they've got a mass of cannons along the side, which will obviously, once they get in line with another ship, they can cause a lot of damage. So obviously this ship has got a lot of guns that can all turn to face it, but a normal battle cruiser would only have maybe a couple of guns on the sides that can shoot to the side. So again, they're quite susceptible to being attacked from the sides, whereas the PHR, that's its bread and butter. Whereas it doesn't have the same, blimey, look at that, it doesn't have the same guns on the front. I don't know if you can see just here, it's not really got anything. Again, it's only primed, quite hard to see, but I'll try and get that painted up. I need to try and work out a good scheme for it, because I'm not too I like the thought of scheme for them, but I'm not too much of a fan. So I want to try and come up with a better scheme. But if I show you what the intended scheme for them is, so that's the colours that they've gone for it. I quite like the blue on the nacelles, but I don't like the cream that they've gone for. Again, that's another version of it with a hangar bay, and they've again got quite similar style ships for theirs. Again, all with the broadside style weaponry. And then there's other fleets such as the Scourge, ones that again are more serpent based. They look more like dragons than spaceships. So they've got ships that look like this. And obviously I've shown you a couple of the UCM, and the other ones are a race called the Shaltari, which are mainly crystal based, like obsidian and onyx and other stuff like that, granite. And oh blimey, sorry about that. But yeah, so that's something I want to try and get a bit more into. But yeah, so that's it for now on this. Just thought I'd give you a quick update on what I've been up to with the Drop Zone stuff. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. Hope you're all alright, and bye for now.